Hello, party people. I am Matthew Munoz, author, artist, and commentator, and these are my offhand remarks on my own feelings and foibles, if I'm using that word properly, as a writer and publisher of stuff. And I would like you to forgive me for saying party people. I don't know where I heard, hey party people, a long time ago, and it just kind of stuck with me. But it's a part of me now. So if you're going to enjoy my content, especially me talking off the cuff, you're just going to have to be able to bear that every now and then. So once again, I apologize. But anyway, what I really want to say is that I published something. I've been publishing a lot. I say author, artist, commentator. I think in the last 2 or 3 weeks, in the last 2 weeks, I've put out drawing videos on here, and I've reposted them on my blog, luminousbeings.blog, where you can find my writings, and I've been writing more. I've written about Shakespeare now 3 times in the month of October, and I've read, interpreted, and regurgitated or spit back out something parallel to something mimicking or approaching a sonnet, and I've been doing some other stuff, but I feel really badly. I've been getting a lot more traffic on the blog. I mean, for me, a lot more traffic on the blog. I've been using the hashtag #amwriting in my, what do you call it? There's a little thing on a WordPress blog where there's something that appears on your website, which is a snippet. No, it's not a snippet. That's not the right word. It's a, gosh darn it. By the way, this is a offhand remarks, but it's almost like a vlogging about writing, which is silly, which is why I said it. It's making me smile and laugh. I don't know if you can hear the smile in my voice, but I'm totally smiling. Anyway, so there's a description. Hold on. Gosh, there's a message that goes out when you publicize with social media. So that's one thing. And then besides that, there's an excerpt. That's what it's called. An excerpt appears on your site, especially if you have your blog configured in such a way, or you're using a theme that has things configured in such a way that it shows a title and then either a featured image, if there's a featured image in your post or however, or attached, associated with that particular blog post. And it also can show an excerpt, which is a sampling. It's not an excerpt in that it's part of the actual text you put in there. You could put anything there, which I think is interesting because that's kind of fun to play with. It's a little extra work, especially, let's say, for example, when I was doing the 10-minute writing challenge, and let's say I put out, 80 words or whatever, and told like a very small something, then I'd have to spend, more than 10 minutes trying to think of a way to condense it and to pique people's interest in reading it without actually revealing the 80 words that I spent 10 minutes writing. So it's kind of a funny thing. Although I think in the past when I was using the excerpt, I was using it incorrectly. And something frustrating about the WordPress blog, about the WordPress that I use anyway, because I don't host my own. I host it on their servers, which may change. Who knows? It depends how successful blogging is for me. I might change things up the more it gets, the more successful it gets. Anyway, what I wanted to say is there's like a brand new beta, like spanking brand new version of WordPress that is like prettier, and it's kind of maybe like widgetized or something, but it's new, and therefore I do not like it reflexively. And then there's the older version of WordPress. The ironic thing is there are certain things I like to have in my posts that I can only access through the newer one. So what I kind of do is as much as I can, build everything for my posts. What I really do is I currently use Google Docs, which I think I'm going to switch away from them, because if you look into what the Alphabet company, which owns or is Google or whatever, does, you might not want to support them, even if it's for free, because of stuff they do with the United States government. Anyway, this is not We Are Change. I'm not Luke Rudowski, so I won't talk about that kind of stuff right now. But the point is, I might move away from them, but what I do now is I pretty much do everything I can in my WordPress, especially now that I'm doing in my Google Drive, especially because right now I'm also doing the audio blogs. And the cool thing is I have kind of canned stuff I say at the beginning of an audio blog and then I say at the end of the audio blog. And what I can do is I can leave that on either end, like bookends, so to speak, and then I can write the text of my post and put whatever like other meta information I need for myself to best put the blogs out. I can have that all there and like make copies of that, and then that's kind of my template for doing the next and the next and the next, which is pretty cool because then it streamlines my process and makes it easier for me to read those things, read the whole, read the body of the work, and then set it up and publish it. And really, so anyway, kind of talking about a lot of stuff all at once, but the main reason I made this is I don't want to apologize about something, a mistake that I made, but I just want to kind of highlight it. So you can hear I'm kind of all over the place. It's only Tuesday, and I have taken care of, dealt with a lot of stuff. I helped somebody, a fellow fan of some nerdy stuff on Tumblr, or who I encountered on there. I helped them like assess the strength of their magic system. So I took time and I was following their notes and kind of making comments patterned after their outline, and sent that over to them. And anyway, that took my time. I did a thing with G Gundam today. I didn't do any writing today, but I can later maybe. But the thing is, with me giving myself the Bradbury Challenge and wanting to read classic poetry, short stories, and then like technical writing essays, and like critique and mimic all of them, basically. Like the thing is to read them, to analyze them and think about them in a profound way or in a deep way, so that I am able to kind of deconstruct them, find out the tools that make the things work, and then make my own, either directly inspired by the topic like I've been doing with the sonnets. I'm basically like putting them in my own words in like a kind of schmucky 2018 vernacular, and then with the short stories, I'll read a short story, I'll analyze a short story, and then what I'm planning on doing next month when I'm doing that is then I'll write my own short story about something. But actually, right now, I've already started writing short stories based on the weekly Torah portion that I study every week, and in fact, every day. Hold on. So in addition to doing all that writing stuff, my wife called me out on something that I've been neglecting the other day, and now I'm more actively involved in taking care of that. Now it's going to take me like a full month to like really invest myself in this other thing that I was neglecting, and like prove to her and to myself that I am taking care of business. But in addition to all of that, I'm also trying to get in better shape. So I've upped my exercise regimen, and I'm now going to be doing like core exercise for like 10 to 15 minutes a day, 5 or 6 days a week. I've done 2 days, and I'm tracking my food, and like I'm doing so much. And I remember back in high school, I swear I will get to why I started this blog or vlog. When I was back in high school and I was playing sports, I did football and wrestling. I did football and wrestling. Well, first I did summer school, then I did football, which starts right after you come into the year, then which is a fall sport, I guess, and then wrestling is a winter sport, so I did that. Didn't do anything the rest of the year, except then I think there was some sort of then I did summer school the next year, then fall and winter were full of wrestling, or football and wrestling respectively, again. So it was my first 2 years of high school. I was doing a bunch of extra work. Those were probably the 2 most productive years of high school where I was the best student, you could say. I paid the most attention. I focused the most on getting my work done, especially while I was in my sports. And I think being in like the daily practice, or was it daily? I can't remember now. Like that helped to get me disciplined. Now, I've been disciplined in being attentive to study certain materials, religious materials, but I'm able to listen in to teachings and, listen in and take it in. I'm a very good audio learner, but I haven't had to like crack a book and read it myself. Anyway, with doing the sonnets and then planning to do the short stories and then helping people out, reading stuff, and even I have a friend who I might do a job for reading a short book for him and helping him. He's an entrepreneur, so helping him with that. I might do that as well. Like, I'm really taking on a lot, and unfortunately, I need to find the balance, but unfortunately I let something slip through the cracks, and that was my Sonnet 3 Deciphered post. There are a bunch of errors in it. I had been planning on publishing the audio simultaneously with the text post of it, the blog post, and then having the audio blog in there as well. But I failed to do that. And then a few hours later, after it published even, because I had scheduled it to publish at a certain time by which I thought I would have taken care of revising it and getting the audio blog recorded and stuff, I went and I recorded the audio blog, and I picked up on some mistakes and some like dropped threads and some sentences, even like a paragraph that's like a muddled mess. And I felt a little badly because some people read through this and they liked it, and I got like a follow or two, maybe off of the Sonnet and off of some other stuff, and like I've been putting out a lot of work, and maybe people are understanding about that, but I feel really badly that I put out like this subpar product, and I've been thinking about going back and revising it. But then again, I've got this is the third Torah portion week this week that I'm releasing this, the week of the 14th, I think. It's Sunday the 14th, I believe. And yeah, today's Tuesday the 16th, and I have one story I like dictated to myself. I didn't have a chance or like a computer access, and I couldn't write, couldn't use my hands to write. So anyway, I dictated the story to myself, but I need to go through and I need to listen, and I need to cut out the parts that I didn't mean to be there, or like every now and then I stumble when I'm dictating, and then I'll make a loud noise or something to give attention to myself, or to call attention to it, so I can cut it out, and then I can write it out. And like, I think I did a pretty good job. Like, I probably don't need to revise it very much, because I had like an hour or two to do it, and I just like paused and said the words, and then I went back and listened a little, and then I continued, and it's like a pretty clean audio. I might even be able to use the original audio for the audio blog and just put at the beginning and end of it the identification for the audio blog, but I'm not sure about that. I'd have to double check it. But like, I still need to go through, listen to that. I need to write it all down, make any revisions that pop up, and finish the third Torah portion short story. And I'm not sure how I'm going to have time for everything. So maybe what I need to do is keep pushing myself to publish everything I want to publish, but let myself relax on the schedule so that I'm not putting out an inferior product. Like, make sure I don't publish something until it's ready to be published, even if that means I'm delayed in publishing until I get back on schedule. I think that's the best idea, and especially now that I'm like building up my writing muscles so that I can write more efficiently and proficiently, I think that would be wise. So I'm going to keep doing that. Anyway, so kind of an apology, and I'll have this linked as a vlog on luminousbeings.blog. So, because I do text posts for the blog, or I do posts for the vlogs there, because I don't want to just rely on them being up on YouTube and getting to the proper audience, I guess, there. So anyway, you can check that out there. If you enjoyed this, the candidness here, you can like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Ring the bell for notifications. You know the drill. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. I appreciate you giving me your time, and take care of yourselves, folks.